What up, babes? It's your girl, Come Back to Real Takes. Well, it's that time, you guys. It's reaction time, and this will be for the Netflix show, The Night Agent. Now, this one I remember watching the trailer months ago. Definitely was intrigued. Was curious about checking this one out. I'm wanting to see how this all plays out because I did enjoy the trailer, the action sequence, the overall storyline has me intrigued with this gentleman, answering our call, which gets him, curtailed into like some sort of conspiracy theory with a mole within the White House. That right there has enough where I want to be invested. Now, I'm recognizing the actual actor at the forefront, so definitely going in blind with that instance. This episode is titled The Call. So with that said, let's go and jump into it. Say the rest of my thoughts at the end, you guys.
FBI, I need everybody to exit the train into the tunnels quietly and calmly right now.
Concussion, probably. We'll have an EMT check you out.
How many are dead?
Just one. Could have been a lot worse. Stay here.
Hey, that's him. Hey, that's the guy.
Cybersecurity, it's hard to tell the good guys from the villains. Early in my career, I was tempted to break into systems that were off limits. Is that the seed funding documents? You've worked your ass off. Oh, we all have. It's the big finish.
My father loved this country. Your father sold out this country. You think he killed himself in order to keep himself out of
a car accident. He was never charged. Keep his name out of your goddamn mouth.
It'll all be fine if you can just learn 2 words. No comment. Go ahead. Try it out. Let me hear you say it.
No comment.
So explain to me how an FBI agent gets sucked into the White House to take orders from her.
It's just how she explained the job when she offered it to me last year.
You're supposed to report to us both. You seem to have forgotten that half the equation.
How much longer might you be willing to endure me?
What's wrong? Your startup? How bad is it?
The board officially fired me.
Oh, sweetheart.
Personally filed for bankruptcy. After the data breach, the ransomware, all my clients bailed and the funders turned on me.
No. Rose, that's terrible.
Bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy.
About the engineer for the files. How do we warn people about what we found?
Well, the country's in trouble?
That no one in the White House can be trusted yet.
I don't know.
Rose,
Take this, go to the finer's house down the hill, use their phone, call this number, say these words.
Oh, what does this even mean?
and it's so important not to panic.
Go out the back.
What are you stopping for, girl? Get to moving. Oh, she saw his face. I'm like, what is she doing?
Yes, go ahead.
Night action. They told me to tell you that. 10 o'clock door fire.
He's coming.
Yes.
There's a door locked from the inside.
Yes.
Listen carefully. Lock the door, close it, but do not go inside the room, you understand?
Okay.
Find a closet, and get inside.
Close it now.
Okay, good. Please run away.
He's already here.
If he finds you, I want you to fight him. You understand me? I want you to fight with everything you have. Rose?
It's okay, you're safe now.
Recover the night action phone, but I need you now. I need you to get to this Rose woman and take her somewhere. Don't tell me where. Don't tell anyone where until we can set up a debrief in the morning for me and Hawkins.
Mr. Hawkins?
Son, what the hell are you doing?
Diane Farr sent me to take Miss Lark.
You're Peter.
Rose?
Who do you work for?
The FBI.
Where are you taking me?
My apartment. Just need to grab something real quick. Close fit.
I want to go to a police station, someplace safe.
We don't want it safe right now. We don't know who's behind what happened to your aunt and uncle. I don't have time to get you to trust me.
What's your plan here tonight?
Kick your ass.
How's that going so far?
Give me your wallets. Give me your fucking wallets. I'm gonna hold on to these. You're gonna wait here for agents to show up and question me. You do that, you'll get them back. If you don't, the FBI SWAT team's gonna hunt your asses down. And you're gonna face more charges. You understand?
What?
Get your head down. Get down, stay low.
Yep.
Anything you saw, anything you know, you should tell them we're on the debrief. They want to help you. It's Peter. Somebody's in my apartment. I set up a live feed, but I think they tracked my phone or Rose's or something, but they're in there right now.
Place is empty. No one's here.
Did you hear that? I overheard my aunt say that there's someone in the White House who can be trusted. I think there was some kind of wars or something. I'm telling the people in there the truth, not if it can get me killed.
Can I help you? No, I just wanted to show my husband your house. I grew up here. Really? And my 11th birthday party hiding out on that deck.
The deck. Frank and I had that built 5 years ago.
Oh, got caught in the lie.
Oh, this will go faster then.
Oh.
Abducted in the last hour from another in the parking lot of the Regency Mall.
Alright, you guys, this first episode, I'm invested. I'm liking the flow of how this story is going with this particular series. I like how we get introduced to Peter now doing the Good Samaritan thing, letting someone sit down, love that. But he notices some other things, you know, being in that type of profession, being that he's an FBI agent, you always got to be, you know, eyes sharp. And you see a gentleman leaves what looks like to be a suitcase or something, you know, up under the seat. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm surprised somebody else didn't say anything when he comes over and he opens up and the guy's like, is that what I think it is? It's like, yeah, it's a bomb and all that, and trying to alert the people. Now, kind of fast forward, he's able to get most of the people, I think, one casualty. Needless to say, the person who pretty much left it there shows back up when he sees, and he's like, I recognize this person. They kind of get into a scuffle in the alleyway. But I will say, before he's able to get away, after he got a little scuffed up a little bit himself, you see what looks like to be this nice, large, I want to say, snake tattoo on his side. Now, I feel like, being that we're going to be dealing definitely with a specific storyline with the female named Rose, we're definitely going to get backstory with him that's going to probably come back, into fold, later on. We're dealing with a situation with him with this instance, and then also something in regards to his past with his father, where they assumed he was a traitor, and before he could clear his name, he was in a car accident. That kind of comes up within this episode. Now, with him, some people thinking he did the bomb, and I'm like, no, I'd like to know who, as witnesses, saw that he put that under there and then got off the train. No, he came from somewhere else on the train and saw and noticed it and brought it to the attention and all that. And of course, that man yelling it out, getting everybody riled up and jumping off and causing, people to kind of get a little extra, which understandably, if you're hearing the word bomb, automatically people are going to bum rush to get off of the actual train. But needless to say, when we get introduced to Rose, we notice that, she's, dealing her profession in cybersecurity and is brought to make some sort of, I think, speech, but something takes a turn when she sees her uncle and aunt show back up home and says that they decided to let her go. The money she put into this, now gone. Nobody wants to her clients and all that. It kind of leave her pretty much stranded in this instance where she's not able to do anything. If she was to try to salvage her company, they don't want her to be at the head of it. So her having to file, of course, bankruptcy, her aunt and them like, you can stay here, don't worry about it, we'll make sure you take care of and do what you need to do to make certain things get handled in regards to her job. Now we start to see things kind of pick up where two individuals show up. You see the aunt and uncle talking and whispering. She hears it because of no service. Lights are out. And they pretty much give her a number with a code where they said to call this number, tell them this and that, and then give them whatever they say in regards to the code. And then I'll definitely send us some authority. She's being told to go somewhere else. The aunt's like, I can't really go into details and all that. She's totally lost. And I will say this, I have to give her a little bit of, a slide, because being that this has happened, she's not probably used to this, something being so quick on her feet. They're in the background of being, of course, agents and all that, and working like this, unbeknownst to her, pretty much lied about their lives being acquisitions. That's not true. So in the instance, her doing that, ends up Peter, of course, being that he works for FBI, he works in a room where he deals with the night agent, I think, program where he answers the telephone. And right now, he hasn't really had a call, at all. He goes in there, he does like little debriefings and stuff, paperwork and all that. Now the phone rings and it's Rose calling, giving him a code, so you can tell, things kind of, take a turn. And he gives her a couple of little tidbits of what to do to cover herself, so it gives her some time while they're waiting for the cops to show up, which was a good thing on his part. Lock the bathroom door, make him think you're in the bathroom, then she puts the mirror up, where she can kind of see his glare coming up to know where he's going and where he's walking, so she can cover herself while she's in the closet. Authorities show up, which causes, the guys to get away. In the midst of that, she does notice a ring. So I kind of like that we're seeing little things that'll bring us back to other characters within the show to know who they are, or figure out eventually certain things we could find out down the road with these particular individuals, or these, as I want to say, assassins. Now, with that being said, she ends up meeting another character, which is the chief of staff named Diane. And I like how she has a little, not to say soft spot, but respects Peter and all this, and kind of tells him to not take to kind of the other people. Always certain individuals coming out trying to kind of rile him up in regards to that situation with the bomb that happened a year prior, and then his situations with his dad. And as she had to tell him, it's like, when they come to you, to say no comment. They can't get anything else out of you, they'll go somewhere else. But now that you're kind of somewhat feeding into the fire, they're going to keep baiting you with and all that, and you'll end up with a situation where you might end up having to deck somebody, and you're trying to avoid that. We see where they have this situation where they want Rose to be debriefed, and also we're dealing with another character played by Robert Patrick Hawkins, where I'm kind of iffy about him because of the conversation that Rose had with her aunt and all that, being that somebody may not be able to trust in the White House, kind of alluded to that. And just the way he carries on at times with it and all, that makes me want to I hate, not the assumption, but right now he's on my list of, I don't trust him. I wonder if there is some sort of mole in there. Is he one of those? As we get introduced to more people, we will see the reveal. I hope is really good. That will be, great, as opposed to thinking, oh, this is the person it was and all that, Not really surprising, but I want to hopefully be shocked when it all is said and done. You know, as the full first season kind of comes to a head, we'll figure out who it is. But needless for that, dealing with Rose, you know, trying to get her somewhere safe. You're dealing with somebody trying to shoot up their SUV, then him going to Airbnb, then setting up a camera in his place when they had to stop and pick up some things and all this. You can have, you know, technology set up in the house in case somebody shows back up at his place. He can verify and all that and maybe get a good look at the person. She saw one of the faces of the gentleman. That was the scene I was just like, really, sweetie, you're going to literally stop and look? I'm like, I know they make them do some dumb things, but it's just what it is. But needless for that, I will say just the amount of, you know, intensity with certain scenes and all that, showing that now you have importance. You saw one of the people. Secondly, did her aunt uncle tell her something? They're probably wondering if she's aware of this, any information with in regards to them being that, you know, we know that their life was, you know, all, you know, lies and all that. She's feeling totally lost because like two people that she cared about are now gone. She's in herself in danger as well. And they're looking for her. Mind you, Peter's dealing with his own issues. You had these two guys, you know, brothers, you know, trying to beat him up because they think that he tried to kill people on a train and then throw out his dad again. So it's like he's already dealing with enough stuff, trying to keep her protected, not dealing with that. So it's like all that stuff from a year ago is coming back to kind of play in the middle of all that's going on present day. So I like that little take on that as well. So knowing that Rose had to show up, you know, at Diane's place, and then of course Hawkins there, she doesn't really feel like she wants to be truthful to them. She's like, I trust you. I don't know these people. My aunt told me this. You know, I'm not going to go in here and tell them. And of course Hawkins like, you can stay out here and all. You can tell he wants to, you know, feel like, you know, Peter only listens to Diane, but you're supposed to report to me and her. So right there, of course, the ego is kicking in, like feeling a certain way about that. So I'm like, okay, not surprising about that. But again, just his overall, I don't know if it's the tone, body language and all that, sometimes the way he carries on. I'm not vibing with him already. And sometimes 9 times out of 10, my intuition sometimes never fails me. So I'm going to be watching how he carries on around Rose, how he's with Peter. But this first episode and that ending where this couple shows up and I see one of the guys, I already recognized him when he was with the woman. I was like, is this his wife? What are they trying to do with this house? You know, putting on this, you know, little show saying this, I used to live here when I was 13, we moved and all that, my parents is. And then when she messed up about the back, when the woman looked at her, I said, did she say something wrong in her story? And I said, yep, the lie. It held up. She's like, well, let me go ahead. This will be faster. And husband, play husband, you know, went to town on that neck. And I was like, when they came out of the house, I'm like, huh? And they took the baby. I'm like, okay, what is going on? What was the point of the baby? But I said, it looks more believable. They needed something to get into the house. So that means when they went in the house, that husband, I'm assuming, probably had some sort of information or whatever that they needed, because she was like I got it, like he said, and I'm like, and then they rolled out and sent a text telling them I'm done, like go ahead and deal with the stuff down in DC. That DC one's gonna be a little bit harder. So I think Peter's up to the challenge. It's gonna be his moment to show, you know, that he can move past being inside the basement of the White House doing, you know, phone calls, you know, from people calling in. So we'll see as it progresses, but this first episode I really truly did enjoy. I want to see how Peter navigates dealing with his own, you know, personal, you know, issues, and then dealing with keeping Rose safe and finding out what's going on as time goes on, and find out who had that tattoo on that body and who's the guy with the ring. Now that he was able to get a picture of it, you know, from him being in his home. So with that said, you guys comment below and let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.